around noon yesterday, June 22nd, the news broke that 36-year-old future Hall of Famer Kevin Durant was traded to the Houston Rockets. This should come as no surprise, as Houston was truly, in my eyes, the favorite to land Durant. In return, the Suns get back rising star Jalen Green, Dillon Brooks, the 10th selection in this year's NBA draft, as well as 5 second-round picks. It's quite evident, especially after last year's campaign, that Houston is now in win-now mode. A disappointing end of their season in the playoffs this year, even though they were the 2 seed, being bounced out of the first round by the 7-seeded Warriors, has led them to decide it's time for a change of guard, and that comes in the still elite-level Durant. Durant finished last year as the NBA's 6th highest scorer at nearly 27 points per game, while shooting 52% from the field. It should be known, however, that Durant has missed significant time due to injury in multiple years since his departure from Golden State in 2020. Durant brings key veteran leadership that the Rockets desperately needed to get over that hump and become a true championship contender. This is still a young team, but Durant, he knows what it's like to win, wants to get back to those ways, as Phoenix was really on a downhill spiral. Speaking of Phoenix, let's talk about what they got back in compensation, because it's also extremely important to the future of the Suns organization. Jalen Green is the key piece here. Obviously, he's just 23 years old and entering year 5 in the NBA. He's an absolutely phenomenal athlete and scorer, and is going to pair nicely in the backcourt with Devin Booker, especially with how much Bradley Beal has declined. His defense is very questionable, but Green did average 21 points a game last season. His percentages of 42% from the field and 35% from free aren't exactly great, but he was taking a lot of shots, and he's going to have a lot of that pressure relieved from him. Was pairing with Booker and Phoenix, as Green was heavily relied on to be the number 1 option in Houston. A more laid-back role for Green may be exactly what he needs. He's still that explosive athlete, and he still has untapped potential to reach into. Dillon Brooks is also a sneaky good piece to acquire for the Suns in this package. Brooks is a sharpshooter and brings a high level of energy, especially on the defensive side, to the games. Yes, that can get a little too much sometimes. Dillon Brooks, little hot-headed, little bit of what we would call a troll, I guess. Brooks, regardless, looked great in Houston. He attempted over 6 threes a game in 75 appearances, all of those starting for the Rockets last season. And he still managed to shoot nearly 40% from free. However, this is going to be a Suns team loaded with shooters. This is a guard-heavy team. So you can expect his volume of threes to decrease, but he's still going to be dangerous on the perimeter, both on the offensive and defensive side. And now we get to the number 10 pick in the draft, where the Suns will likely get some help in their front court. Phoenix's loss of Durant is a huge loss, especially defensively in said front court. Currently, if I'm Phoenix, I'm looking at that power forward position the most. Currently, as of June 22nd, now 23rd, that part of their depth chart consists of Royce O'Neal, Jalen Bridges, and Ryan Dunn. Ryan Dunn had some amazing performances towards the end of the season. He's going to look to take a huge leap in year 2. However, with those other 2 guys, there's little to no promise in that depth chart. Names like Noah Essengiu, Carter Bryant, and Colin Murray-Boyles, 3 great players at the position, will all be ones to watch when it comes to Phoenix's selection at number 10. Keep in mind, too, they do have the 29th pick in the draft as well. All in all, it's a complete retool mode, it seems, for Phoenix, whereas Houston, who now takes on KD's $54 million contract and sits at negative $93 million in cap space pending Fred VanVleet's team option decision, which will likely be declined as it sits in $44 million, is in win-now mode.